Folks, I think a lot of people need to understand one thing. Just because you might find it a little weird, crazy, not fitting of somebody, it doesn't mean you have to ride them about it. It doesn't mean you have to get on them about it. What it means mainly is you just got to accept the fact that if they like to collect something or watch something or do whatever they do, then that's okay. There's no harm in it. I know there's a lot of people, including myself, that will get questioned about why we collect My Little Pony Friendship is Magic figures. From the plushes, the Power Pony set, to even the new Guardians of Harmony figures, to even the regular size to mini versions of the Funko figures. If we like to collect it, even if we don't watch the show that much, then that's our business. There's no harm in it. Some of us, like myself, the reason we start collecting the figures or maybe getting into it a little bit, even if we don't watch the show, is because of the respect we have for what fans have done, for what the media and fans themselves have done with the show. If someone would have told you back in 2010 when this show came out that it was going to transcend beyond its original gender-targeted audience or its original targeted demographic, if anybody would have told you it was going to transcend beyond that to where you would have young adult males and their families, young adult males in college, adolescent males in high school, if someone would have told you we're going to have conventions based on, dedicated to that portion, that fan base that came out of nowhere, no one would have believed you. Because the original targeted audience and gender were young girls. And yet now here we are, and everybody's excited for the 2017 movie. And as well as the fact that Hasbro themselves have come out with this new lineup of toys and collectibles targeted at both boys and girls. And that's saying something. At my job, as I mentioned in my collection update video, they had a display in the middle of the toy aisle, and now in the middle of the aisle between pets, that's located between pets, electronics, and clothing, and it's figures aimed at both boys and girls. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Hard to believe, but it's true. And if someone would have said that back in 2010 that was going to happen, no one would have believed it. But yet, again, like I said, here we are. But so for people to be questioned, it's like I said, if someone would have said that this was all going to happen 6 years ago when the series came out, nobody would have believed them. But yet here we are. And for 6 years, folks, may I mind you, there have been young adult males, adolescent males, married husbands, if you will, that have been ridiculed for the love of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Heck, even the young females, the young adult females, the adolescent females, the wives, the mothers, if you will, have been ridiculed for the love of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And all because there's a generation out there that just does not get it. They do not understand. And what they don't understand is if somebody likes something, let them like it. If there's no harm being done, don't question it. I remember watching Volume 1 of the original, Season 1 of the original Rhino Entertainment DVD release of Transformers. And I remember, and I saw the special feature that they did on BotCon of 2001, I believe. And one of the young girls, and they had several girls. One they followed up on a few volumes later. But one girl sat down along with a guy and talked about how Transformers helped her out, how Transformers became a part of her life. Now she'd been a fan for a long time, and yet if you're a young boy growing up with this girl, you think it's kind of strange. Even she mentioned that it was kind of strange for this to happen, but yet it was happening. It happened because of a reason. And that reason that was that if she loved it, even to this day, why question it? Let her love what she likes to love. Let her enjoy what she likes to enjoy. Let her collect what she likes to collect. Don't get on her about it. Don't call her out because of it. Let her enjoy it. Let her have fun with it. If there's no harm, no foul, then so be it. There's no harm, no foul, so be it. If somebody like Linkara or Angry Joe or Nostalgia Critic, real names of Louis Lumberg, Joe Vargas, Doug Walker, if these people like to do what they love to do and share it with the world, they shouldn't be criticized about it. If there's no harm, no foul, so be it. And all anybody is doing is sharing their appreciation, the love, the fandom with others out there. And the only reason people question it is because they don't understand it. The only kind of people out there that would even put out the derogatory comments about, this person should do this with themselves, or this person should do that, or this person's this or that, is maybe, again, like I say, they don't understand. Or maybe there are certain demographic that some of us used to be, and that's adolescent teenagers. Maybe adolescent teenagers of the male or female mindset. Some, mostly males, seem to not understand. Some of them don't get it. And I'm not trying to be mean or insulting or anything, but there's a reason for that. And the reason, in my opinion, mind you, is these young adolescent males, who I'm not saying are behind this, but it sounds like it is. Just as you read the comments posted by them, you can kind of tell that's mostly who they may be. They're going through a stage, a rebellious stage, a stage of not understanding certain things, of wanting to do their own thing, a stage where they want to see certain things, if you catch my drift, of the opposite sex. But a place like YouTube doesn't give it to them. And again, I completely understand that because I too used to be a young kid. So did everybody else. I used to be a young adolescent teenager. So did everybody else. And we did want certain desires from the opposite sex, if you know what I mean. But it didn't mean we had to go out and insult people. It didn't mean we had to put out derogatory comments. We just had to accept the fact that if we couldn't get what we wanted, we just had to wait and be patient. Didn't mean we insulted people. Certain people may not understand certain people's likes and desires, but it doesn't mean you have to insult them. It doesn't mean if you're a part of a family that your family members tease you about it and point it out. They just got to realize, hey, if that's what he likes to do, if that's what they like to do, so be it. I'm sure, for example, Paul Optobotomus, even though he's been invited to conventions and he speaks at them and all that, I'm sure he's gotten ridiculed by friends and family at times, maybe teased for his love of Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel figures. But does he let it get to them? But does he let it get to him? No. He accepts it. He just brushes it off. I'm sure with Ben and his wife, Ben's Toy Ben, they get the same thing. People give him derogatory comments on their channels. People, maybe friends, families kind of tease him a little bit. But do they let it get to them? No. They just brush it off. They just brush it off because they know there's no harm, there's no foul. Collecting, if you're a female, a young adult female, either in their 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s or 50s, and you like to collect Transformers, that's your business. If there's no harm, there's no foul. If you're a young adult male in their 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you love My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and you like to collect some of the figures, hey, if there's no harm, there's no foul. All you got to deal with is a misunderstanding from a younger generation, or maybe from those that don't get it. I have a sister that loves Disney a lot. In fact, they dedicated one. In fact, this year, with the annual Christmas tree in the annual Christmas trees in the park thing in Patterson, my sister and her family put together a Disney-related Christmas tree entitled "We Love Disney." Now, true, myself and the rest of my family, we may not understand why she and her family like to go to Disneyland every year, even if they have a yearly pass during certain times of the year. But we don't really question it that much. We just wonder, and then we let it go. We let it go and we say, hey, if that's what they love to do, fine, let them do it. It doesn't really bother us. If they want to go and have a good time, let them go have a good time. Again, it doesn't really bother us. The fact is, if you love something, that's your business. If you like to watch a certain show, even if others don't get why, that's your business. If you like to collect certain things, even if it's meant to be for another gender or it's meant to be for another demographic, but yet it's gone and transcended beyond said gender and demographic, and you like to collect it because you pretty much feel it shows your appreciation, your fandom, your love for it, then so be it. If there's no harm, there's no foul. If you like to talk about it, there's no harm, no foul. I'm sure when Doug decided to do his Disney-cember several years ago, and he continues it to this day, I'm sure people got on him about it. They questioned him about it. But does he let it get to him? No. He continues doing it. James decided to do his Monster Madness deal, which Doug took inspiration from for his Disney-cember. Did he let people get to him and ridicule him for what he's doing? Did he let the ridicule and derogatoriness people threw at him get to him? No. He accepted. No, he didn't. He brushed it off. He brushed it off and realized, you know what? I'm not going to let it get to me. I love to do this. I'm showing my love. By doing Monster Madness, he's showing his love and appreciation in his fandom for the love of monsters and horror movies. Does he let people derogatory remarks? Does he let family or friends that tease him about it or joke about it with him get to him? No. He just brushes it off. What I'm saying is, you don't have to let people get to you with the derogatory remarks and everything, especially if those comments are being done by young adolescent, teenage males or boys. Because in my opinion, not to be mean, all they're doing right now is going through a certain stage in their life where they're rebellious and they want certain desires and certain things, if you catch my drift, from the opposite sex. That's all they want. And if they don't see something like that via YouTube or anywhere else, and they see people like me, or Joe Vargas, or Doug Walker, or Pat the NES Punk, or Linkara, or Huey Toonmore, if they see, or Rowdy C, or whoever, Animat, if they see us, or Bob Show, Bob Thomas, if they see us on YouTube talking about what we love to talk about, but yet they don't see what they want, they shouldn't get mad about that. They should just try to find other places, try to look elsewhere for it, and leave it at B. Leave it at best. Just leave it at that. Don't try to take out your anger or dissatisfaction on others by saying, oh, you're this or that, or you should do this or that. You should just leave them be. It's like one person it's like several people have said in comments to each other, if you don't like what a person's doing, then why are you watching? Or if you don't like what the person's doing, don't watch the video. If you don't like what a person's talking about, don't watch the video. Go watch something else. But to them, they look at people like me. They look at people like Frank Hill, Patrick Butler, Israel Decoy, Doug Walker, James Wolfe, Joe Vargas, Louis Lumberg, Linkara, Logan Reinberg, Huey Toonmore, Pat the NES Punk, Animat, Matt Burnett, Zara Nizarak, and the list goes on. They look at people like us and they see easy targets to take the frustration out of, because to them it's unfair that we get to talk about and showcase what we love and we love that we get to talk about and showcase what we like to talk about and love to show off, but yet they can't get to see what they want to see. And all I'm going to say is, to those that have had this, don't let it get to you. Just delete the comment, report the comment, but don't let it get to you, because what do they want? Do you think doing a cyberbullying and trolling of us is going to get YouTube to give them what they want? No. Is it going to make Google decide to put an X-rated YouTube channel on YouTube? No. They just got to learn to accept that they got to find other places, other means of searching for what they want, and don't take out the dissatisfaction or frustration on people like me or those that I've talked about and I've mentioned. Because we're here on YouTube, whether we like the decisions and directions YouTube and Google have gone, we are still allowed to come on here and voice our opinions, talk about what we want to talk about, showcase our fandom and our love and appreciation for something. And again, if it's something that's harmless, then it's no harm, no foul. You shouldn't be upset about it. You shouldn't put derogatory remarks about it, all because maybe deep down, in my opinion, you're frustrated that you're not getting what you want. So that's all I'm going to say. And all I can say to those people that are dealing with this, I'm sure you know this already, but if not, whatever happens, just brush off the cyberbullying and trolling, delete the comments, and don't let it get to you.